would you do if your friend was texting your kid? Mia and I were best friends from age 8 to 18. She was always the wild one, dating older guys and getting us into trouble, while I kept her from completely self-destructing. She had this thing about going after people she couldn't have, like our friend's older brothers, or even trying to flirt with our married history teacher. Nothing happened, but she loved the power of making men want her. So when she slept with my boyfriend of 2 years just to prove she could, I wasn't surprised, and cut her off completely. That was 17 years ago. Fast forward to 3 months ago when she messages me on Facebook. She's been through therapy and wants to apologize. She's some hotshot marketing executive now and never had kids, which she says is her biggest regret. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet for coffee. She seemed genuinely different and kept asking about my son Ethan. He's 16, brilliant at coding, but awkward with girls. When she commented that shy boys are always the deepest, something felt off, but I ignored it. She started coming around bringing Ethan expensive gaming gear and offering tech industry connections. Ethan, who barely talks to adults outside family, was for some reason immediately drawn to her. She'd play online games with him late at night, and I'd find them laughing on the couch sitting way too close. She kept telling him how mature he was for his age and buying him cologne because girls notice these things. Then she accidentally sent him a suggestive photo meant for her dating app. She apologized in our group chat, but privately asked Ethan if she looked good for 35. When I confronted her about boundaries, she gaslit me saying I was projecting and just jealous that Ethan finally had a confident female influence. After a big fight, she stayed away for a week, then came back crying and promising to respect boundaries. For a month, things seemed better, but then Ethan started being secretive with his phone and wearing the cologne she bought. I checked our phone bill and found hundreds of texts to an unknown number. When I confronted him, he admitted it was Mia on a burner phone. She told him I was controlling and didn't understand their special connection. The texts made me physically sick because she was using textbook grooming language about how he wasn't like other boys and how she had feelings she shouldn't have, but when he turned 18, everything would be different. At Ethan's basketball game last week, Mia showed up uninvited taking photos from the stands. After the game, she whispered something to him that made him blush. His friend Marcus pulled me aside and showed me texts where Ethan was planning to meet someone special at a hotel for his 17th birthday. Marcus begged me not to tell Ethan he snitched, but saw how Mia was around him and thought it was gross. When I confronted Ethan, he broke down and admitted Mia said she was falling for him and wanted to celebrate his birthday privately, but would wait until he was 18 to make it official. I hired a PI who discovered Mia was fired from her last job for an inappropriate relationship with a 19-year-old intern. She specifically targets young men with single mothers and has searched out divorced women with teenage sons on Facebook to reconnect with. I knew I had to protect Ethan, but I also wanted her to face consequences, so I pretended not to know about the hotel plan and invited her to a birthday dinner the night before, saying I was taking Ethan on a trip that weekend. I spent days collecting evidence and met with what I thought was just a family lawyer. Then at dinner, Mia showed up with an expensive gift calling Ethan handsome and checking her phone constantly. She mentioned having plans later, which made me sick knowing what she meant. I was trying to act normal when 2 people in suits approached our table. They flashed badges. One was a detective, one from the DA's office. They said they were there about solicitation of a minor. I was completely shocked because this wasn't my plan. I realized my ex-husband must have gone to the authorities when I told him. Mia went ballistic screaming that I set her up and didn't understand what I'd done. As they dragged her out, she turned and yelled that there was no proof she did anything wrong. I hated to admit it, but she was right. The bare minimum I had was enough to get a case started, but I needed to record their meetup at the hotel. The detective said they needed to speak with me and Ethan tomorrow, then left me sitting there with the check and knowledge I might not be able to save my son. The ending changed everything for me. Click the link to see why.